Hey there, adventurers, and welcome back to another episode of the Awkward Dungeon Master. This week, I want to talk to you guys about building characters who are similar to you in ways that you unexpected. So one of the first things that I always do with new players, I want to talk about this first, is I recommend that if they're wanting to roleplay, that the first character that they make is already similar to who they are as a person. The reason for this is that it's much easier to roleplay somebody that's more similar to who you are already. It's going to make everything feel more authentic, it's going to give you time to settle into all the rules of the game, and it's going to give you some freedom to grow. I don't completely constrain them to that. I always advise that they keep at least a few things about themselves that are kind of core values the same as the character, and then they can be flexible with some of the other things. And that gives them plenty of room to be in a very comfortable space whenever they're playing that character, and then also gives them that freedom to kind of roleplay a little bit and get a little bit more comfortable in the actual play space. But it gives them some comfort within their character, which is the goal. The other thing that I wanted to talk about this week, because I have noticed this with many a player, everyone kind of has an unintentional way of allowing some of their core key values of seeping into their characters. And I've definitely noticed this with myself over the last 3 to 4 years. Anytime I'm playing a character, whether I intended to or not, there is some degree of, if you hurt my friends, I will hurt you. And I probably shouldn't admit this, but I am that person in real life. I am typically like, don't fucking hurt my friends, because I will come at you. But it always seems to come out in my characters, and if I build a character that already has that, it's even more intense. So I have a bard right now in my friend's Friday night game that I'm playing in every other week, and that was one of her key values, is that her friends were her family and she would do anything for them. And it was supposed to be this crazy, selfless character who just didn't care about having magical items and didn't even want them. She wants her friends to have them so that they can stay safe, because that's what she cares about more than anything else in the whole world, which drives my party insane to no end. You have no idea how many arguments have sprung forth because my character won't take magical items. They've managed to sneaker a few at this point, but it's still a point of contention some days. I don't mind it. It makes everything fun. But that's the character I built. So as we're going along, bad crap keeps happening, because my friend, he built a campaign around the storyline of the Diablo video games, which has been super cool. I haven't played any Diablo, but now I kind of want to, as if I needed one more thing to get into. But as we've gone along, bad crap keeps happening. She keeps getting more and more concerned about her friends and whether or not they're going to survive anything. So at one point, they got into this situation where she couldn't do anything. She wasn't strong enough, or she didn't hit hard enough. That was the whole scenario. She could not physically lash out and protect her friends. So I wound up narratively taking a level of barbarian. So now anytime somebody hurts her friends, she just rages and beats the crap out of things, even though she's still kind of squishy. But that's the character. So I ran with it, but that made me realize that we can unintentionally build characters that are very similar to core values that we have. And I've definitely seen that with other people's characters. My friend Jeanette, she's a total foodie, and I swear to God, every character she has ever made is obsessed with food in some way. Our first campaign, her character got a belt, a spice belt, and she's always cooking. That's all she ever did. She's like, oh, we wake up in camp, I'm gonna make breakfast. What do we have? Or they're fighting in a dungeon or in a house or something, and she can't get to wherever the combat is to do anything because it's in a confined space. Well, I think I'm just gonna start making snacks, because when combat's done, everybody's gonna be hungry. And that has carried over, I feel into some of her other characters. They're just constantly foodie characters. That's one of the underlying traits of them as people. I think it just happened because my friend Jeanette is that way. And I've definitely seen people with those tendencies in other games as well. I've seen people who get really irritated when they think that people are being stupid, and that comes through in their characters consistently. And people who like to do stupid stuff, and that comes through consistently. So yeah, I definitely feel like that's a thing where we unintentionally allow parts of ourselves to seep into the characters that we make, and I don't know that there's anything we can do about that. I just think it's interesting. It's not bad. It's just kind of cool. So if you have caught yourself doing that with one of your characters, why don't you go ahead and throw whatever it was down in the comments so we can talk about it. and make sure that I know that I'm not all by myself in this, because it's kind of a weird off-the-cuff video. But hopefully I'm not alone. Until next time, you guys, keep it rolling, adventurers.